Oh, yes.
Carry on United. Now that's a Sunday morning newspaper headline I want to see. I'm currently at Grassroots Football, reading you the paper round, people. Welcome along to Adam FC. The paper's jam-packed this morning with all Manchester United's dominant performance over Man City yesterday. You got to love it as a red, you got to hate it as a blue. But from that, the bigger stories are coming. Now, I'm going to get into that in a minute. I'm going to grab my brolly first because it's just about to start raining here. So give me 1 second and I'll be with you with all of them big headlines. Okay, walking up to the pitch now, and yes, papers, headlines. Man City battered by Manchester United yesterday, as we all know and we all seen, which is glorious as a Red United fan anyway. It is a good feeling actually being able to read newspaper headlines that are of a positive tone for Manchester United fans. Anyway, talking about that, story came out last night and I've seen a little bit of it in the papers this morning. It's not too much on it, but interesting from what Richard Keys said yesterday. Don't be surprised if Pep Guardiola has gone this week at Man City and Maresca is in. You've got the Nuno somehow getting out of that Spurs game with a win for West Ham. How anyone beats West Ham, how anyone loses to West Ham, these days is a miracle on its own. But on top of that, that's his job on the line. Pep Guardiola's after that Manchester derby and what Richard Keys said. And then the headlines on Thomas Frank as well. And then to top that, you've got even more on Oliver Glasner and that absolute abomination in, in that post-match interview yesterday after Crystal Palace lost the lead again to Sunderland. He has literally just handed in his resignation letter to the Crystal Palace hierarchy and said that he has been let down. Abandoned was the word. Oh, I don't know who's in a worse situation right now because I can't see Thomas Frank surviving. The papers this morning, Spurs, disastrous, boring Spurs. Every single Spurs fan that I know is wanting him out at the moment. It has been an absolute sham and he has absolutely destroyed any hope of Spurs this season getting anything at all. But bear with me a second there, I'm just going to run through a gate. 1 sec. Morning, mate. Yeah, so Thomas Frank, Glasner. Honestly, I don't know where to start with it. The papers are full of all of it and it is a complete mad one, honestly. But when you look at the situation that Thomas Frank's in, for instance, now, no Daniel Levy. Spurs haven't got anyone. And there's a lot of talk of that in the headlines and in the papers. And it is all of, like, what's your excuse now? You've just spent another 50 million. Conor Gallagher comes in and Spurs don't get any better. Don't get any better at all. So, so you can see exactly where I am here. Pitch has been laid out and we're almost set for kick-off. Yep, there we are. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting week, I think, because Spurs have got Champions League football. So when you look at that there definitely is going to be key. If Spurs lose that one, I'm hoping as a United fan, by the way, that we have Thomas Frank in situ for another couple of weeks at Spurs because they're obviously going to be, well, playing United at Old Trafford. I don't want no new manager bounce at Spurs again coming to Old Trafford. So, yeah, hopefully Frank can last out a few more games and United get Spurs as they are now. But when you look at everything, so you can see, a bit of a better backdrop there, innit? Proper grassroots. Anyway, when you look at Spurs this week, Champions League, and the schedule that they've got, you're not looking really at Spurs being able to, I don't think, turn anything around under Thomas Frank. He's going to be next, I feel. But then again, I look at Glasner and what he said yesterday. I've never been in a situation ever in my whole career. That's what the papers are running with, of being abandoned like this. Your captain sold the day before a game, twice in one season where you don't know that your best players are going to be sold on you. It's an impossible situation for Thomas Frank, and I don't see, not for Thomas Frank, sorry, for Glasner, and I just don't see how they get out of this. I don't see how Oliver Glasner survives the season now. So that obviously brings in you the conversation about, should Man United have waited? Should United have waited and there's a possible opportunity for Glasner to come in? But that isn't the case, and Manchester United fully happy with the Michael Carrick situation, as you would be after that game yesterday. But it just goes to show, doesn't it? It's not all rosy at any Premier League club at any one time. Pep Guardiola and that story is absolutely crazy. I mean, City fans, let me know in the comments section what you think of that. Is that genuine? Is that actually real? Because I can't see how Pep Guardiola would, with all the competitions that he's in, want to leave this week. I mean, come on. I mean, seriously, that is a stretch, but you never know. Like Glasner, all of a sudden, after winning 2 trophies for Crystal Palace, what is it, 6 months later, he's calling out the board and it looks like it's all over. Thomas Frank was supposed to be the saviour, the man to stabilise Spurs. No Daniel Levy and proper backing from the board. Thomas Frank completely on his arse at the moment. It is honestly a complete manager merry-go-round. I'm just going to change my hands here actually because I'm aching a tiny little bit. Oh, my voice is still recovering from that Manchester derby, by the way. I love it. Anyway, when you look at, I think, Pep Guardiola's situation, I mean, concentrate on that for a moment and then you compare that to Frank and Glasner. How the hell do you get into a managerial situation where you've got a manager that's competing for the Champions League, the Premier League, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup leaving this week? That's weird. I'm sorry, that is just beyond. That is weird. I don't get it. I think we've scored. I think we're 1-0 up here. Yep, 1-0 up. 1-0 up to the girls. That's a great start. Banging. Anyway, yeah. So Richard Keys dropping that bombshell, and that's why Maresca's been speaking to Manchester City. It's weird. It's weird. And do you know what? The only good thing about all of this is the fact that there's none of this related at all to Manchester United. There's no Manchester United news at all of the negative this morning. And I can't believe it. There's not one journalist that has been able to drop on Manchester United with any issues. And isn't it good as a United fan, honestly? They're still living off it. And I know there's a lot more work to do, but Mikel Arteta's in the papers today as well, bitching and moaning about not getting a penalty. I mean, seriously, mate, oh God, whenever anything goes wrong, there's part of me as a United fan, and I don't know how anyone else feels about this, but I've kind of like, I don't want City to win the league. I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I would never want that at all, but Arsenal, God and Arteta, I think they deserve each other so much. And it's funny, isn't it, how United have got Arsenal this week, and we could have done Arsenal a favour this weekend and then reverse it next weekend by taking something at the Emirates. It's going to be an interesting week. Big shout out to Nuno though as well, and a lot of people giving him praise and his tactics against Frank. Went in on a situation which he knew was developing at Spurs there, played on the negative and 100% got the right result there. They deserved it, they were the better side, and I think that again is how easy it is to play against Spurs at the moment. Is another reason why we can expect Thomas Frank to get the sack as well. So I reckon Glasner gone, I reckon Frank gone. Nuno might have given himself a little bit of time. And what the hell is going on with Pep Guardiola? I mean, seriously, I can't take that as a definite story, surely. I mean, you let me know. I mean, City fans, if you're in here and you think that there is anything in that story, then do let me know, because it is a weird one. But I can't see Pep with 4 trophies on the line, because Man United are going to beat Arsenal and bring City back into it next week. There you go. I can't see him leaving. I really can't. But, hey, look, stranger things have happened, and that's football for you. Anyway, I'm going to go watch the rest of this game now. 1-0 up. Then I'm off to Winton for our game this afternoon. And anyone who's at Avro, come and watch us. Challenge Cup first round. Cheers for tuning in, everybody. I'm going to go and try and stay as dry as I possibly can and catch you all later.